What up, you guys? Slim here at SlimXTeampurplepanda. Back here with another deck discussion. Like I said, we're going to roll through these videos as much as I can today. Like I said, I got a lot of videos to upload. So, please check the content and, leave me your feedback, comment, rate, subscribe, everything. This next one is from Steven55871. Shout out to you. Wants me to do a couple videos. The first one is to discuss the archetype that's kind of underrated, Meklords, for people who don't know. If you've ever ran into Granel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That big fucker comes out and you're literally like, fuck, like literally. But for people who don't know, I'm gonna go over the deck and its play style, its weakness, everything that I usually do in a deck discussion. So just bear with me because I've never ran the deck. I actually played against it at my locals on Saturday, and ran into Granel that was main decked in scraps. I'm gonna get into that too about why scraps are like the perfect deck to run these with. So let's just get into it real quick. So a little back information on them is that there's the Meklord Emperors, there's Granel, there's Weisel, there's Meklord army of Granel, and there's the Emperors, there's the armies. They're mainly used, they're big monsters, and they have a synchro stealing effect, which is really cool. And you basically just take the synchro monster and use it to your advantage. Basically, it says the archetype focuses on taking advantage of the opponent's synchro monsters and destroying other monsters you control in order to special summon the Meklord Emperors. So on that note right there, it says you have to destroy them, by card effects. People are wondering, like, what's my best way? Like, how am I going to destroy my own monsters? Anyone that's a scrap player knows that you have like Scrap Storm or whatever it is. Scrap. I don't even remember which ones it is. Scrap Yard, but whatever destroys something, or the effect of a scrap monster destroying a card. So basically, you pop your own card, you get a plus off the scrap effect, and you get to drop these powerful Meklord Emperors. The main one is Granel. If people didn't know, that was one of the jump cards that came out, and it starts out at 0/0 and its attack is equal to half your life points, which is like ridiculous. So imagine you drop it turn one, like it's happened to me so many times. I'm facing down this 4,000 attack point monster, wondering, how the hell am I getting around this thing? I mean, running Gravekeeper, I really don't worry about cards like that, because I mean, okay, you have 4,000 attack points. I have a shit ton of effects, like it never really bothered me. And if people didn't know, if you book the thing, it goes back to 0. So I mean, it's really easy to get around. But I mean, aside from that, if you're playing a deck and you're not ready for a big beater coming out so early, a 4,000 attack point monster could really be a problem. So, you have to properly, have your main deck set up so that you're able to take out pretty much any big monster that would come your way, even if it comes that early. I mean, it's basically like a Gores on steroids because it's literally half your life points. So if your life points are still pretty high, I mean, shit, like it's hard to get around attack-wise. Like I said, make sure your deck has plenty of effects to negate and counter cards like that. What's really cool, about these is that, like, they work off each other's effects. Like I said, they're compatible with virtually any deck. They can stand alone despite the lack of synchro monsters on the field. The low levels of Meklord Emperors allow them to work around level restricting spells and trap cards. So if people didn't know, they're pretty low level. So they get around like Gravity Bind and what is that? Level Limit Area B. Since the release of Extreme Victory, there are a number of support cards that help you bring out your Meklord Emperors. There's Mechtamid Blast. You should keep many Meklord army cards in your deck. Use cards such as Gold Sark to add them to your hand. Keep Pot of Avarice handy to reload them, like when you've used their effects to reload them if stuff doesn't go right. The one that they talk about, the main one they talk about is Scrap Meklord. It makes use of the Scrap monsters, like I said, their self-destructing effects to special summon your Meklord Emperors and steal synchro monsters or tribute them for Scrap Dragon, because Scrap Dragon's like amazing right now. So basically, you take their synchro monsters, you pop it off, you pop another card, and you've just like minus your opponent so much while you've plussed. And that's basically how they run, which is really broken. They're just saying you'd want to run Scrap Chimera, Scrap Othro, Scrap Beast, Scrap Goblin, Scrap Golem, and then Meklord Emperor, Granel, and Weisel. If people don't know what Weisel does, I'm actually going to click on it because I don't fully know. I haven't really encountered it yet, but this was, another jump card, and it says, cannot be normal summon or set. It's a level 1. It must be special summoned by its own effect and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When it faces a monster you control by a card effect, i.e. a scrap effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. Once per turn, you can target one synchro monster your opponent controls. Equip that target to this card. This card gains attack equal to the equipped monster's combined attack. Once per turn, when an opponent's spell card is activated, you can negate the activation and destroy it. So basically, Weisel is like a Shein on steroids because not only does it come out at 2500, but you get to take an opponent's Synchro Monster, attach it, and make it like ridiculously strong. Like it gains the attack of the Synchro Monster. So say you took a Shein or a Stardust, it's at 5000 and it's a once per turn Shein just like Shein is, and it's broken. So if Meklords really work, I mean if they go off, they really work well because they basically have the Shein factor plus the relinquish factor of taking an opponent's monster, which is breaks down an opponent's advantage over time on the field. I'm trying to see what else it says about it. So yeah, it basically says that's what you do. People want to know what its weakness is. The Meklord deck is suited to combat Synchro Monsters, thus does not work against players who do not depend on Synchro Monsters, i.e. myself. I've never had a problem against Scraps, with Gravekeeper, because, Gravekeeper clearly have the advantage. Some Scrap effects do get off, but, I've played my friend Robert so many times, and, if they go off, they go off, but, my trap lineup takes care of pretty much any problem out there. And I run 777 tools, so I really don't worry if my stuff gets countered because I can just counter it again. But as a deck type, they're really cool. I think they need to be given a chance. Like I said, there's so many things that Konami has to do to bring balance back to this game. And there's, I'm gonna make a video once the list comes out and really talk about it for a long time with you guys. Probably make a several part video about what I think is going to happen in the format to come. But for now, we have to play in the format we're given, and Librarian and Tengu are running loose. Have fun with it. Tengu probably won't get hit. Librarian will definitely go to 1. People are thinking Librarian should get banned, and I can see why it should get banned because it is a broken card. But I don't see that happening. So enjoy your 1 Librarian. But Meklords, they fall against decks that don't do stuff like that. Machine type cards, that would destroy multiple machines like System Down, Magnetic Mosquito, and Acid Rain can also, get rid of a lot of their problems and shut down the Meklords themselves. But aside from that, they're a really cool deck type, and like I said, Scrap Meklord is probably the way to go since it's the easiest way for you to pop your own effects and just summon these ridiculously big monsters with awesome effects. So that's all I got to say, you guys. This has been a deck, profile on Meklords, Scrap Meklords, whatever you want to call it. I haven't seen a regular Meklord deck run, but I think your best way to do it is do Scrap Meklords, and you will be a lot more successful because you'll have not only the Scrap engine with Synchros, but you'll also have the Meklord engine, which is awesome. So that's all I got to say, guys. Leave me your comments below. Let me know what you think about the deck, anything I missed, anything you want to let me know about the deck, and yeah, just please continue to rate, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.